I do this, the more comfortable I get. I actually forgot, really and truly, I am doing the most. I need to start again. Rewind. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to an episode. Maybe not welcome back, maybe welcome. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to an episode of Natasha's Narrative. I'm obviously Natasha. If you've already been on this channel, welcome back. Make sure to subscribe, click on the notification bell if you want to see when my videos have been released. Also make sure to like, comment, share, all of that business. So today I'm actually really excited. Really. It has been a little bit since I've been managing to like produce a lot of content because I've been so when I tell you I've been busy, I've been busy. I've been so busy. So I'm actually really excited today to be able to film stuff. Like I said, please do not talk to me about the fact that you see me wearing the same top in the same videos. It just means that I've been doing back-to-back content because I'm trying to film a lot of stuff and get it out to you. I could pretend, you know, and just go and get changed and change into different tops, but I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to front to you and pretend that that it's from a different day, because it's not from a different day. I'm going to be realistic. I do not have the time to program this in every week. I do not. But that's not the main reason why I'm excited. I'm excited because I have been thinking about, for a very long time, talking about relationships. And the reason why I was really hesitant to talk about relationships is because I have been like single my entire life, and I got so used to hearing people being like, you don't know what you're talking about, you've never been in a relationship, so why should we hear you talk about that, blah blah blah. If you've never been in a situation, it means that you can't comment on it. Absolutely incorrect, false information. And I've always known that's false information because may have never been in one, but I've really paid attention to a lot of them. I'm someone who always asks questions because I like to grow in knowledge and wisdom. So I've asked people about their relationship. I've asked them about why they feel like it didn't go well, what makes them feel like they clicked with that person, if at that time that's the stage that they're at. I make sure to ask intrusive questions, especially to my friends and stuff, and I've gathered a lot of knowledge over the years, and I feel like there's a lot of things from general life that are applicable to relationships. And I just, you know, I'm tired of people kind of basically saying that you're not your experience or your your experience is not valid because you've never actually been in a relationship. It's not like I've never talked to boys. I just have never found somebody that is, you know, that clicks. So no shade. So today what I'm going to be talking about is things that you ought to discuss before you get into a serious relationship. Another reason why I was like, yes, I'm going to do this is because my friends, if I tell you how many of my friends I have come up to me and talk to me about relationship advice, you'll be like, wow, what? I'm amazed, I'm shocked, because they actually value my opinion, and a lot of them say that I give out good advice. So as you know, the narrative page, the main aim of this page is to give out advice of different types, whether it be med school, friendships, general life advice. So relationships are a big part of life advice, so why not? And I think it will be really interesting for me personally to see how my views will change and what I will gain once I enter that phase of my life, and see what other advice and bits of information I have to give you. So anyway, today what I would like to first start off with is talking about things that you should discuss with someone that you're interested in before you get into a really serious relationship with them. And the reason why this is something that's been really heavy in my heart is because a lot of my friends have gotten into relationships. I'm not going to say, yeah, a lot of my friends have gotten into relationships and they don't work out, and then they're like, oh, I'm so confused, I don't understand. Either they don't understand why it didn't work out, or they do understand that why it didn't work out. And I'm just like, sorry, the reason why I feel like this is something that I wanted to talk about is because a lot of my friends have gotten into relationships with people that they're really not compatible with, people that really don't have similar ideologies to them, and then they start getting confused as to why things haven't worked out. This is not a shade. I am not here to at anyone. My friends know that I love them. Please do not take it personally, but we all know that this has either happened to ourselves, or we've ended up talking to guys that we know are just not good for us. Either not good for us because they're not good people, or not good for us because they actually don't fit what we require within that relationship, and we are just wasting time. But because they're paying still, we still want to talk to them. Why are we wasting our time, guys? Why? There's no point. Let's not do that anymore. So this is why I'm making this. Firstly, I'd like to start off by introducing this term that I commonly use. It's called non-negotiables, and it's a term that I picked off Millionaire Matchmaker when I was younger. And I think her name's Patty Stranger, who is the person who is the Millionaire Matchmaker, and she uses it and she tells her clients that, you know, you need to have a couple of non-negotiables in your mind before you get into a relationship. In your mind before you get into a relationship, that are basically must-haves. And I think that's what the issue is with a lot of people today, is they haven't actually thought about their non-negotiables before they get into a relationship. And if they do have them, they think that they can alter their partner into changing for them. A good example of this for me is, I have a friend, and she told me that her sister's friend ended up getting into a relationship with this guy, and was with this guy for multiple years, only for the guy to be like, yeah, I don't want kids. So what is the point? And obviously she did. So what is the point of being in this relationship 6-7 years and you've never really discussed whether you want children, and how, because some people are like, oh, I don't mind, or I'm not sure. But someone who's a categorical no, you should have known this within the first few dates, that this is somebody who doesn't want to have children, and that should have been it. Instead, now your heart is breaking over a fact that you should have known about a long time ago, and all this time has been consumed, and you thought that this is someone that you're going to build a life with, and it's over just like that. And that's why I'm saying it's so important, before you go into a relationship, mentally think about what your non-negotiables are. Don't think that you can convert someone into having the same belief system as you, or having the same wants and needs as you, because you're not going to be able to. People don't really change. So if you have something that you're passionate about, or something that you really want in your life, you need to make that known. You need to make that known at the beginning. And if they don't have it, before you catch feelings and you fall in love with them, you need to be like, okay, cool, you don't have it. It was lovely to meet you, but however, we are not compatible. Best wishes with your life, and that's it. You move on, instead of like having all this heartbreak. We just need to be more sensible about how we think. So prime non-negotiables that I would definitely, for me, for me, as if I'm out here trying to look for somebody. I don't know what's actually wrong with me. I do some weird things. But yeah, for me, prime non-negotiables that I would have to factor in is religion. So I've mentioned multiple times, if you watch my episodes before, that I am a Christian. So I don't actually date outside of my faith. So if you are someone who does not plan on dating outside of their faith, do not date someone from outside of your faith. There's so many people who date people from outside of their faith, and they think, oh, you can just slyly slip in a Bible quote into their DMs, and one day they're just going to wake up and be like, okay, yes, Jesus is Lord. I'm not saying that can't happen, because God works in all types of ways. However, you cannot go in with that mentality thinking that, oh, I can just change someone. I can, if I bring him to church with me, or if I bring her to mosque with me, or if I bring him to temple with me enough times, he will actually, he will change. He will follow my religion because he loves me so much. He will follow my religion. Is not about loving the other person so much that you follow their religion. Religion is about having that special relationship, that connection with God, and following it for yourself. You can't follow God for somebody else. That doesn't make sense, because then you're not really following God, you're following that person. So that person is your God. You're idolizing that person. That person is your God. So definitely do not do that. Don't go in with hopes and dreams. And I think even definitely be careful. And I think people also have this tendency of, okay, so they've told me that they are Christian or Muslim or whatever it is. Another issue I think is that people will say stuff like, oh, they told me that, that they were raised in church, or that, they're from a Christian family. So I think sometimes people think that if they have Christian roots or Islamic roots or Jewish roots, and they've fallen away from their religion, but because they've touched that religion before, you can surely pull them back while being in the relationship back to where they were. And maybe you can, but again, that's not something that I would think is it's not something that I would count on. It's not something that I would count on. I think, and honestly, I think it gets a bit dangerous as well, because you should never want someone to follow your religion because it will ease your relationship. If that's something that you believe in, you should want them to follow it because they believe that that's the truth, not because of your own like personal needs, because then it actually becomes a bit selfish. That's my personal view on it anyway. And lastly, this is kind of the last point that I wanted to say on religion, is that you have a lot of people who'll be like, oh, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Jewish, I'm Buddhist, or whatever religion they say that they are a part of. However, it doesn't seem like they act like it, or it seems like the way that they practice is very different to yours. So I think that's also something that you really need to take into account. So for example, I can only really speak for my own religion because that's mostly all that I know. I wouldn't want to be with someone who said that like they're Christian, however their way of walking is very different to the way that I walk. In terms of, yes, you might have like slight different beliefs in regards to theology. However, the theological facts that I believe are essential to Christianity, such as believing in the Trinity, believing in the virgin birth, believing that Jesus is the Son of God. And if someone had different beliefs to that, I wouldn't be able to be with them. Or we all have sins. However, if I felt like their sins could be detrimental to me, or could be likely to be influential in a bad way towards me, I also wouldn't want to kind of be around that sort of environment. So I think, it's not enough for someone to say, I am this, I believe in this, I believe in that. It's important to see how they live their day-to-day life. So for me, religion is central to everything that I do. So I would have to have someone who also takes Christianity as being central to everything that they are, and being a Christian is central to everything that they are. Otherwise, it just wouldn't work. It shouldn't take you 6 months to realize where someone's relationship with God lies. So yes, it might take a bit longer. Because I always believe that actions speak louder than words. But honestly, with prayer and using that spirit of discernment, trust me, you'll be able to smell fraud from afar and ask those questions, and you'll be able to see. For example, if he's like, okay, yeah, like I'm such a devout member of the church, I help out in this, that and the other, and you asked, oh, okay, let's go to your church together, and he's acting shifty, or you go to his church with him and they're like, who this, we've never seen him, then he's a liar. Okay, it shouldn't take this long. It shouldn't take that long to realize that you guys are on two different spiritual journeys. And that's not to say that you might end up dating someone who is less slightly less established than you, because that happens. In all likelihood, that is what's going to happen. You're very unlikely to be at the exact same level of your journey with the person that you're seeing, they might be slightly under or slightly over you in terms of having had that walk with so for me, that walk with Christ, etc. However, I think that if you're at quite big extremes, it's very unlikely to work, because if you're so far ahead, then although we're called not to be judgmental, certain things are going to irritate you, and you're gonna just, you're just gonna feel like a bit of a babysitter, to be honest, and like you're spending a majority of your relationship just trying to pull these people away from temptation, and that's not what you should be. That shouldn't be the central focus of your relationship.